What is up, guys? Mcdoubles back again with a brand new video, and today we're going to play Project Ascension on the Mayhem Fire Rogue. Now, my members on the channel voted for this build, so this is for you guys, and it's a really fun build, really unique, utilizing two brand new epic World Forge enchants. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's jump right in. Okay, guys, so tell me, like, what are the sicknesses out there that will just destroy your voice off and on for about a week and a half straight so far? Like, I woke up today, and I hope you guys can't hear it too well, but I just don't have a voice. It's gone, man. Imagine quite literally talking for a living and losing your voice. It is actually quite terrifying. But today, my friends, we are going to be playing a Fire Rogue build. I'm going to be playing, starting off with Fire Blast, Fireball in the Rogue Tree, Backstab, I think that'll be Mutilate though at some point, and Warlock's Immolate, and we're going to be combining it with the following skill cards: Conflagrate, Seal of Vengeance, Flame Tongue Weapon, and Soulfire. For the lucky cards, we're going to be going True Shot Aura, Aspect of the Beast, and Premeditation Mutilate, because again, I think the Mutilate is key. Hopefully we get these, and my god, we are going to be going for some pretty fun and amazing enchants. I highly doubt you've seen this yet. The first enchant, Interrogator's Immolation. My Backstab and Mutilate abilities now have a 25% chance to make my next Immolate instant cast, and using Conflagrate now makes Mutilate and Backstab do additional fire damage for 6 seconds. Now, I'll show you on the screen where I got this. You get this literally from killing the Interrogator in Scarlet Monastery, so boom. And I got this actually kind of early on, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, man. And then this epic enchant got brought to my attention, and this was a doozy to farm. This is Mayhem, my friends. It requires Soulfire and the Molten Core talent, and it transforms Soulfire into a brand new spell called Mayhem, which is a combo point spender, guys. Mayhem is a finishing move with additional attack power scaling, so I'm going to go Agi. I'm on my Agi base guy, and a 5-second base cast time. Every combo point lowers that cast time by 6 seconds, 0.6 seconds in fact, and increases the damage dealt. That's only 3 seconds off though, meaning I theoretically would have a 2-second cast time on this, so I wonder if I can reduce that even more. It also says direct damage rogue combo point generators, in this case Mutilate, Backstab, also have a 15% chance to proc the Molten Core effect, which if you don't remember, I can just take a look at it right here. So it looks like it's going to be like 18% more damage and 15% more crit, or even 30% more crit, depending on how that 2 points in that scales. I can't quite remember. We will figure it out when it happens though. Also, this is where I got the enchant. It was in Blackrock Depths. It did not work for me on Heroic, but it did work for me on Normal. What you have to do is you have to get a World Forge key, at least for the version that I know about. World Forge keys are obtained, as far as I could tell, I don't even remember how I got the little pieces of them. You collect 5 pieces and make 1 key. Now, 10k honor gets you a piece. That's how I got the final one. The first 4, though, I think I got them just running dailies, doing heroics and stuff, and I think they dropped randomly. But anyway, what you do is you go all the way to where you see right now on the video. In Blackrock Depths, you jump down, you open the chest. You don't even have to roll for it. I thought you were going to have to. You just get it. And yeah, that was Mayhem. Big shout out and thank you to the 2 little guys, the dwarf and the gnome, that actually stuck with me after everybody else in the group left, followed me all the way to this part of the dungeon, and helped me kill mobs on my Gurubashi Berserker until we got to the point where I could get this chest. Thank you, guys. It's actually pretty amazing, if you ask me. I'm really hype about this right now because it's insanely unique. There's 2 different legendary enchants I want to try. The first one is one that I made a video on when it first came out, and I said to you guys, listen, I showed you, I was doing huge DPS at the time, actually, like seriously, but it was a really complex build to play in my opinion. There's a lot of snapshotting, for example, and that's Elemental Destruction. This is already giving me Warlock and Shaman synergy that simultaneously synergizes with the Rogue combo point system, just to make it clear. Now, other people are already doing this, which of course makes me want to do something different, but if this is the way it's meant to go, that's the way it's meant to go, and that's what we're going to do. However, I personally thought of Consumed by Fire first. My Soulfire, so I'm assuming my Mayhem, can trigger Hot Streak for instant Pyroblasts. Pyroblast deals damage and refreshes the duration of Corruption. So the idea here is that I'm throwing Pyroblast out, I'm Mayhemming, it's a fire hybrid, right, more traditionally speaking. Maybe we Pyrolate as well, which, yeah, this could be really crazy. fun. But again, I don't know which way we're gonna go yet. Let's find a group, start leveling, get to 60, and see if we can make this build work.
2 hours later.
Okay, so this is what I think. I leveled to 60 real quick, and as you can see, based on my enchants on the top left, I went with a very, very unique take. Interrogator's Immolation, Mayhem, Flamekeeper to allow my melee crits to exasperate, they say, the dot portion of Fire Blast and Pyroblast, allowing it to stack up to 3 times and giving it AP scaling, critical mass for more crit, Pyrolate so that our Conflag does more damage if we have Pyroblast up because it's increasing the damage of Immolate by 45%. It's just insane, man. Lastly, of course, coupled with Desecration for 3% more Fireball damage, 3% more Pyro damage, and 6% more crit on both if I have the Immolate up. And I have to say, I really like this spec with Consumed by Fire. Now, the only downside I have right now is that it's 100% not viable because you just don't have enough mana. And I tested everything, guys. There was simply no way to make the mana thing be better. I tried improved Soul Leech, but it requires too many talents, and it wasn't even fixing it. As you can see, have been trying Master of Elements for my crits to refund 40% of their mana cost, and bro, I even went for the Omen of Clarity on the complete RNG, right? And it just obviously wasn't enough, obviously. I can show you guys now, I was pretty consistently doing 2k DPS with this version of the build. With the right procs, it was doing 2.7 or something like that, and that in my head made me think that if I could fix the mana problems, that theoretically this build would absolutely slap, and it would just keep scaling. Here's the thing, in actuality, it didn't work that way. I do think in TBC, with 10 extra talent points, it's really going to help curb that. You could use Seal of Mana as well. Seal of Wisdom right here, you know, that would probably actually do it. But I went for the Seal of Venge. As a result of this, I think that I definitely need to completely respec.
Later that same evening.
Okay, so I prestige. Let me just tell you guys where my head's at right now. So I really don't want to give up on my Consumed by Fire version so far because it's just interesting and you're never going to see anything else like it, quite frankly. And you know, the Lava Burst one is proven to work right now with like 3k single target or something like that, which is fine. But I was thinking to myself, what if I got rid of Flamekeeper so I'm not getting more dot damage, and then I could, let's say, go Shamanistic Rage and combine that with another epic enchant right here known as Channeled Rage. My melee criticals reduce the cooldown of Shamanistic Rage by 3 seconds. My spell crits extend the duration. I'm doing both of those, guys. And I regenerate mana equal to 5% of my AP, and I'm Agi based, so that should actually almost be everything right there. But just because I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if I want to have to go through another 1 to 60 just to, you know, test this, I thought, what if I combine that with the Seal of Wisdom start we just talked about? Would that fix my mana problems in totality? If so, what I've decided to do under this premise is start with Summon Imp, take away all those weird mana talents I was using and put it towards the Demonology Warlock talent, Master Demonologist for 5% more fire damage and 5% more crit. If this is working in my head the way that I think it's working, I'll have 2% more crit than normal, 1 extra talent point, I don't know what I'll do with it yet, and if the mana problems are alleviated, my DPS should just keep going up, considering the fact that even though I'm missing the dots, I should be getting off more Pyroblasts, more Mayhems, and more Fireballs with literally no care in the world for my mana. So, you know, that could be great. I don't know, though. You can see this is kind of confusing right now. We're going to level to 60, though, under this premise with a Slice and Dice start with the Imp and the Seal of Wisdom, meaning this is a way greedier version than my last one. With that being said, the only other thing that I risk this run is not getting my rotational abilities, which hopefully is not going to be a problem. So, let's do it. Yeah, okay, so I'm still in the starting zone. Okay, so the truth is I prestiged yet again, guys. I wasn't happy with what I ended up with. I didn't get Mutilate somehow. I don't know how that's possible. I even lucky carded it, but I was trying a backstab variant. You can see it on the screen right now. At its worst, it was doing maybe 1700 DPS. At its best, it was doing 2k, and that was like really kind of not honest either. I feel like that was lucky. I could blame it on the backstab, but at the same time, I was also just not feeling it. I don't know. I just looked up to see if anybody had any Mayhem builds, and there's only one guy's like at all right now. He posted it 6 days ago, and he actually ended up with one very similar to what I was trying. I also got Critical Soulfire in there. I also talked all about Consumed by Fire. I thought I was the only one. I did not use Dark Embrace. I tried Unstable Void, but I just, even though I had 95% crit, I was actually not critting a lot because I wasn't getting the Molten Core procs at all from, well, the Mayhem itself, which has a 15% chance to give me Molten Core when I use Mutilate or Backstab. So if I'm not getting those procs and not getting 30%, you know, Mayhem crit, that, you know, it still puts me at 65% crit with the build that I had, but I was not critting, and if I'm not critting, I'm not getting pyros. If I don't get pyros, I have 0 damage, and that's really scary. So I did try the Elemental Immolation one, and it also was like 2k-ish with the Backstab version. It was a weird one. I even went so far, you can see this on the screen now, I went so far that I said, screw Mayhem, what if I only conflagged my, you know, special combo point version of Immolate? And it did like 2k DPS. Everything was doing 2k DPS. That's my benchmark with 61 item level to know that I'm not really where I should be, because I told you with the very first iteration of that spec, 2700 DPS with the right procs made me feel like I could just keep going, and I have not been able to replicate it because no matter how much crit I get, as I said, I'm not critting. Like, this guy is doing exactly what I ended up doing towards the end too. There's no fireball in the rotation. He is only going for Mayhem crits that give him pyro, and as far as I could see, it just was not good enough. Now, he does say he hasn't even tried this yet, but he is once again the only one here, and he thought of what I was basically thinking of 6 days ago. So the only thing I saw in this entire guy's build that I thought, oh, I didn't even think about that, was Shadow Flame. And I thought, that's my AoE, or part of it at least. That's not bad. It just feels like you don't have enough talents, man, but I'm prestiging again anyway. This time I'm hoping I get the Mutilate, and also this time I'm not going to care at all about the, basically the slice and dice. There's no room for cut to the chase in this, and Flame Tongue weapon's not that much of your damage anyway. Like, you could even see here towards the end with the Elemental Immolation version, like Lava Burst was up there, man. Flame Tongue attacks 7%. It just feels weird to try to sneak in the slice and dice. So now, in terms of the Shamanistic Rage, I wasn't fully sure if this was required or not. It was a good idea, but actually, Seal of Wisdom might have been good enough on its own. Like, when you start factoring in Brilliance auras and all the buffs you're gonna have on, I actually think it might be fine, although it's a tough one. But I'm going to try no Shamanistic Rage this time. No Channeled Rage. I still don't know what the third epic's going to be. Maybe we go back to what we were using. Also, because I don't want to specifically go ham on a Flame Tongue weapon, and I'm not going to go S&D, I thought, what if I just went Weapon Enhancement Mastery? I can hope I get Frostbrand Weapon with Flame Tongue Weapon, use one of each, and then go into the tried and true Frozen Power for 12% more fire damage with a Frostbrand Weapon attack on my target. Not bad, to be honest with you. It might work. And if it doesn't work, we're guaranteed Flame Tongue weapon by taking this one. So, you know what? We might as well try. And I'm going to try Combustion, and maybe we go back to using Fireball again and just see how that works, right? I'm not lucky enough, unfortunately, to get an Arcane Power card this season yet. I definitely had one early on last season. But Combustion might just be good enough. It's 10% more crit with my Fireball and essentially Pyroblast. Okay, guys, things are just getting crazier and crazier as time goes on. Apparently, I have two dudes with masks on that have been stalking me here as I've been doing this talk. They look great, though, I'm not gonna lie. And listen, I guess this is what I'm gonna go with for my cards. Hopefully we grab that Mutilate, the Pyroblast as well, and the Combustion, everything, all that's guaranteed, which is nice. I'm gonna go probably just Immolate, Fireblast, and Backstab and Fireball as my starts. So back to the less greedy version. No Imp. I don't feel like I had room for the Imp talents right now. We'll get to 60 real quick, guys, and hopefully the DPS test is actually worth taking into a dungeon. But I just don't know, man. It's really, really hard right now. Oh, actually, I'm going to go Seal Mastery and go Steel of Wisdom. So no Fire Blast, just Fireball. Alright guys, so I leveled to 60 again. I did some BGs. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fun leveling up with Backstab, because Backstab is pretty broken before level 40. You can literally 3-shot people of same gear and item level and all that jazz. And I was also getting off instant immolates with the interrogator stuff, and as a result of that, by the way, fire damage would eventually come off the conflags I had as well for my Backstabs. It was actually really, really fun. We're level 60 now, and I'm basically exactly where I was before, except I can last longer. In a raid, though, you're going to go out of mana quick, so you could say, okay, Mana Pot, Dark Rune, that's probably a good start. I could have used the Judgment of Wisdom, but it wasn't going to carry me that much more. It's a little bit, though. Brilliance Aura, okay. I'm seeing it maybe as a Blood Oath as well with using my Racial just to get, you know, 150 extra mana. That's one more Mayhem, bro. It's not that bad. Let's just queue up and see how it goes, guys. Okay, guys, so I'm pretty confident my pull-to-pull and my AoE is going to be pretty garbo, but we can go for the bosses in this dungeon real quick and see how we do against some other people. Don't you love it when you drink your noggin and it gives you the perfect thing? So I slow-falled with it, dude. Okay, can I slap this thing real quick? I mean, I'll take that, dude. Okay, here we go. That is a Presence of Mind Pyro, and he's pulling even more. We can Shadow Flame that. Hope that we get a proc for the Immolate. There's a Fireball proc. I'll definitely take it. Oh my god, I just realized you can conflag your Shadow Flame. I completely forgot about that. That's at least interesting. That added maybe a little bit of extra damage where I wouldn't have had the ammo. I'm not unhappy with it. I don't think I played that fight really well, but I did come in second there, so it wasn't horrible. Okay, so like, what does Shadow Flame do right now as my only AoE? Let's pretend I can actually get it off here. Okay, I got it off real quick. This is basically all I've got. Lol, oh my god, that's not good enough, dude. There is no AoE with this build, man. Okay, guys, we have another Warpwood quarter. I'll take it, man. Let's just see how we do Redemption with a different set of players. We got a Chain Lightning build in here, but he's using Whirlwind, so no clue what that guy's doing. We've got a Fireball build with a Red Dragon. That's pretty cool. And Consecration Arcane Explosion with Mana Charge Strike. Wow, that's the tank, I think. This build seriously has a lot of potential, though. Like, I do see this build as being incredibly strong. It's going to scale really well into TBC. This will probably end up doing really well any way that you play it, whether it's the Lava Burst, Flame Shock route with Booming Echoes and stuff like that, or whether it's my version with the Pyroblast and the Flame Keeper and stuff like that as well. I am going to Judgment of Wisdom because I'm low. I'm just going to hope it makes a difference. There's another Pyro. That's really nice. Got my Immolation finally. We can go for a Mayhem. Of course. Of course. Because truthfully, why should it be anybody else? Alright, at least we got a Fireball proc and maybe we can climb back up into first. Ooh, look at all those procs. I really love builds that are just essentially something called proc central, basically. Something estimating proc central. It's great, you know? Like, so many things pop up and it instantly hits that dopamine rush that you definitely want to have. Mayhem right here, by the way, into the Immolate. And we just go for that Fireball proc right there. I'm out of mana. But I can, there we go, Racial. Okay. I did come in first at the end, which is nice. Of course, the numbers aren't insane, but it's still first place, and so the build's performing. So I will say with this version of the spec, it's kind of light into a lot of different trees. Fire Mage, over here in the Shaman tree. It's a Mental Quickness build. The Shadow Flame is not doing that much damage, despite the fact that we have Shadow and Flame for both the Soulfire and the Shadow Flame itself. I mean, I guess it's to be expected with 400 SP. Again, Mental Quickness build. It's definitely a problem without those Dark Runes and Mana Pots, right? It's definitely something to think about when making this build. The only reason I didn't want to... Oh my god, he's actually healing. The only reason I didn't want to continue going in a Shamanistic Rage and Channeled Rage is because, number one, Seal of Wisdom was doing okay on a dummy, believe it or not. But also, number two, I lost way too much damage by using that epic enchant. So I am going to queue for more dungeons and play this out, but I did just want to queue for some BGs and see what happens despite the current lack of PvP gear. You know, the first thing I encounter is a healer that doesn't care that I exist, which isn't a good sign, but honestly, Ascension's kind of always been that way, so I really didn't bat an eye. The game kind of ended due to the healer thing, and I said, okay, let's queue again. I was able to get some combos off that made me feel like with the right gear and a few talent changes, that this could actually be a fun burst class. With something like Icy Veins, it protects you from the interrupt, you cast the Mayhem faster, and you just constantly set up for that Mayhem, and then you keep pumping the instant cast, right? The Fireball, the Pyro, the Conflag after that. And right after I got off that first combo on somebody where I thought to myself, oh, if the damage was just like ×2, that could actually be interesting, I realized the enemy team in this new game had 3 healers, and I think our team either had 1 or 0. Not only that, but each of those healers were perceivably unkillable too. And bro, I remembered why I'm glad I'm not PvPing right now. Lag is one thing, but that, my friends, is a cancer. And now we're back to dungeons to really test that single target DPS again. I do want to get 2k in a dungeon itself, right? I wouldn't feel too bad about that. It wouldn't be the strongest spec I've played. The Pirate felt stronger, but it does have the most potential, I think, out of every spec I've made a video on so far. Maybe outside of Arctis and Fuego. You are correct, my friend. I am making another video. It's going to be a twofer today, guys. I'm putting out like a quick little guide to Season 8. Just a, you know, updated guide for new players, returning players, or people that just want info on the server. As you can see, my AoE with just the Shadow Flame is basically meh. Okay, but can I come back? I definitely hope so. Here comes a Mayhem. Into the Conflag, into a Fireball, nice. Okay, I did actually have a Mana Pot, so hopefully this helps us. So far, so good, actually, if I'm honest with you. All right, that guy's dead. Oh, Mayhem doesn't work properly. I just showed you guys a complete exploit. I had 5 combo points on one guy, and I Mayhemmed a different guy that I had no combo points on, and it actually worked. Okay, now I'm actually out of mana, but I did come in first. First place before I ran out of mana, boys. Wow, I actually maintained first place DPS. I'm currently up against some kind of interesting build. Arcane Orb, Shadow Flame, Hellfire, Arcane Explosion. That's the tank. Wow. And then Holy Fire, Cauterizing Fire. Interesting. Okay. Let's test this theory again, by the way. So 5 combo points on this guy. Click a different guy. Mayhem. Is this going to work? Yes, it did for a 6,000 crit. Wow. Typically, though, if you have Eviscerate up and you use it on a different target, it doesn't work, right? You have to have combo points on that target. It's not until retail that combo points are attached to the player, unless, again, something was changed and I'm just not, you know, seeing it. All right, here is a Mayhem Fireball combo. Boom. Do I just immolate if I don't get the proc and then go for the conflag so that mutilate does more damage? So I'm actually pretty impressed right now. It's a really badass spec. It's one of the most unique specs, by the way. That's one reason I wanted to try it. It's literally a very interesting trickster type of fire rogue. I don't know how to explain it other than I get Lost Ark vibes of all things. They had a bunch of like bomb clowns and there was like a Mayhem like name aspect to it, and I keep getting that nostalgia in many ways for that game. I did really like Lost Ark. I just didn't like the PvE, and the PvP required you to really like specific classes, and you guys know me. If I can't PvP with what I like, what's the point of PvP? And by the way, still first place DPS, and actually not in a bad way. Like, this feels good. Okay, wow, so we just got a World Forge Scroll Fiery Charge by not killing, I don't know if this is because of that, but we didn't kill the girl, and we just killed the Emperor. I'm gonna need on that, I hope I win it. Okay, so we didn't win it, but it says your charge now does extra elemental damage and causes additional effects to players struck, which is fire damage and fire damage over time. Wow. So we're doing pretty good, like we're coming to first place DPS among our peers right now, which I really enjoy. But yeah, this is actually working. It's intensely unique, is it not? Soul of the Pyro, Desecration, man, Feel the Burn, Hot-Headed, all these crazy things in the Pyrolate. I really enjoy it. Okay, I guess we're doing more BRD, but a different section, the Shadow Forge City, right? So I think as I've been playing through this dungeon, I'm noticing that one of the weird weaknesses of this spec is actually the entire point of the spec, and that's the Interrogator's Immolation. The 1 in 4 chance to proc the Immolation and the added fire damage after a conflag is just not that good. I mean, either one could be buffed and I would feel really good about it. I could have a higher proc chance, maybe like 40% or something like that, but also, like, just look at my damage. Of course, this is not the best showing, but it is pretty much like this every time. Fanatic Flames, 0.8%. And I'm not gonna lie, while an instant cast Immolation is quite awesome, it's only a 1.5 second cast, remember that. So that part's wonky, but Mayhem itself, that's really fun. Okay, so right now I have this Callboard quest, Keeping Evil at Bay. I love doing this one. It's a super easy one to come kill these elites, and I'm gonna get a loaded Callboard Cache where we could actually get a loot upgrade. And we can kill these elites and test the build out all along the way. So we could Pyroblast that guy into the Mutilate. He's gonna die so fast, isn't he? Let's see if I can make this work, right? So the 5 combo points are on that guy, but now I think I can Mayhem for, yep, same speed and everything. This guy, wow. So for pull to pull, that's actually pretty cool. Sometimes I just wish WoW had different content. Like, instead of dungeons, I wish I could queue for like single boss fights, you know? Ascension kind of is doing that right now because PvP has a lot of variants, but nobody's doing the 2v2s and 3v3s. The reason being, by my estimation, is that PvP on Ascension, it's just really hard to actually feel like you won because you played the best. But who knows? Things could happen, changes could occur, and it could be a whole different experience a month or 2 from now. That's the best part about the Ascension devs, is like you just really don't know what's going to happen, but something is going to happen. It could be chapter 2 is like the PvP update, and they just like rebalance everything from like levels 1 to 60, and like they actually make it to where like certain spells actually slap. Maybe healers can actually die, right? To like single people if they play their spec really well and they land the interrupts and stuff, rather than it like not being a problem at all, basically. Specs like this, they give me a lot of hope, man. It's just interesting. It's like Dark Surgeon, which is a Mutilate healer. This is a Mutilate Fire or even Destruction Warlock, which is just like something that Blizzard would have never thought of. And again, I'm not hating on Blizzard. Dragonflight might actually slap. I don't know yet. Could actually be garbage too. Heard weird things about the brand new evoker, especially the Drakthir race. That's a little, I don't know, it's like a femboy looking thing. But all I'm saying is it's a fact. Like, you're not going to see something like this from Blizzard at all. And I'm just glad I got to experience like some weird fire rogue spec in the World of Warcraft universe. I mean, you guys know how it goes for me. I don't think this is one of our stronger ones. Like I said, with like maybe a couple more item levels and maybe arcane power and a couple more spells, 3k DPS does make logical sense. And obviously that's compounded by the idea that we've met people who said that, yeah, 3k DPS is kind of where you find this spec right now. Again, 10 more talent points in TBC, that's totally gonna change the game, dude. But this is still good. Definitely hard to play as well. 5 combo points on the dead guy, but I 5 combo point this other guy instead. It's not even that broken, but it's definitely incorrect, I feel like. Okay, pyro that guy. I think there's just something weird about the way it plays, right? Because like if you want to use Interrogator's Immolation, you need to conflag ASAP. And if we do, let me just see what that damage even looks like. If I immolate first at the beginning of every fight, let's say you do that, right? And let's pretend I was closer. So it's doing, oh, I don't know, 258. We could check the recount in a moment to see what the damage is like. I actually want to wait for him to heal. Conflag. Okay, he gets one shot. How much damage, though? See, it's 3.5%. It's not horrendous, but it's difficult to use right. But, like, once again, like, maybe you start immolate into the conflag. Okay. Oh, look at that. So how about that time? 7% of my damage. Okay. So maybe it's more than I thought. Okay, let's try Unstable Void one more time, this time actually on cam. 20% more crit with my Mayhem. All I have to do is get a Backdraft proc, which comes from Conflag, and with this spec, even from the Immolate. I find this to be really sus to not use Flamekeeper, because one of the good things about that other epic enchant is that it's maintaining a Pyroblast. So if I do get unlucky, let's just say, I'm still getting way, way bigger Conflags the entire fight, and bigger Immolates in general as well. If I use this version, I'm really hoping I crit enough with Mayhem to where Pyroblast goes off consistently. Okay, it finally procced. It took years though, and of course the guy dies. Jesus, dude. Like, that's a big problem. All these really, really low proc chances, man. I'm just gonna Mayhem this guy. I guess all the procs went away. I don't know. It's like such a low percent chance to get all these little things you need. 25% chance for an Immolate, 15% chance on a Mutilate to actually get the Molten Core, and if you don't have it, you are really, really effed. So it's literally a 1 in 6 chance at happiness, man. Imagine those odds, dude. But okay, that's the daily, guys. Let's turn it in. Let's see if we get any loot. All right, man. I'm really, really hoping for a brand new pair of shoes. Something good, man. Like, okay, boom. And here we go, guys. Loaded Callboard Cache. Ooh, I see an epic. Flame Walkers, man, which is actually not that bad, and I will keep it for a future spec. Otherwise, if I'm honest with you, it's just a bunch of vendorable stuff, but okay, I will take those boots, dude. GG. Okay, so you know what? Honestly, I cannot wait for Mythics to come out tomorrow as of the date that you guys are watching this video, because that's going to be much better content than what Heroics are right now, and more loot as well. Speaking of loot, let's see what we got from all those dungeons we've been doing. I'll just go Agi for all of these. We'll see if we get literally any upgrades at all. Savage Gladiator Greaves, no. Bracers of the Eclipse, those aren't bad. I'll keep those. Pain Weaver Band, that's not bad. Force of Magma, and then my 5 millionth Heroic Hand of Justice. I mean, at least we got something we can keep and just like maybe use in a future build. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's the Mayhem spec in a nutshell, right? I mean, there's the Pyro right there. These are some elites right here. Go for the instant Immolates. Go for a Mayhem. Into the fireball. She's gonna die, right? Yeah, easily. It's pretty fun. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the spec so far. The Fire Rogue. I'll try to put a more complete version of the spec in my Discord that's just this build, but if I had better abilities. But I definitely think for single target, it's more than viable, which is a really nice thing to discover, to be honest with you. I also will say there's a slight chance I stream tomorrow. It depends if Ascension helps me fix all the issues, because I don't want any technical issues that are not my fault and they're the game's fault or the client's fault during a live stream, you know what I mean? Like, that just sounds like a headache. But you could probably be keeping your eye out tomorrow around the afternoon or whenever the patch comes out. Maybe we should kill this guy. Never mind, he's a big fan. We can't kill him. But yeah, guys, Mutilate, Fire Spells, Instant Fireballs, Conflags, brand new Mayhem spell. I really enjoyed it. But let me say, guys, let's go ahead and do the giveaway from the last video and let's see who won. All right, pick a winner. And we've got Callowshade. Bro, I think you've actually won before. I recognize the name a lot. I know you're not a fan of pet builds, but I'd love to see you do something with a Dark Master random enchant, which is a pet build. In-game name Zordrak, and he's in the guild as well. Okay, awesome, man. Grats. It's funny you say that. I was actually thinking about doing that. You might see that sooner than not. I actually have to farm the enchant, obviously, first. So I actually had a bunch of items given to me by a player named, I believe, Reaper, and he told me to give them away to somebody, so I guess you're the lucky one, Zordrak. You're gonna get Stones of Retreat, a bunch of different transmog stuff, an Ancient Enchanting Altar, Ghost Wolf, Rustic, which I really wanted to use, Mandacure's Tribute Transmog, Warder's Axe, pristine pouches, my friend. And actually, that completely fills it up. So I think it was also 500 gold. So there you go, man. GG, that's a big giveaway. There you go. Okay, so one other thing. Obviously, leave a comment in the comment section below with your in-game name on the Thrall server. You'll have a chance of winning the giveaway in my next Ascension video. I'm just doing this stuff until I run out. You guys send me a lot of stuff to give away, and I got a bunch of stuff of my own to give away that I haven't even dipped into yet. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, the Fire Rogue, the Mayhem spec, and you can see the potential just like me, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Mcdoubles out.